Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's session. And I am continuing on the topic, the 3 zones. I hope that you listened to the first one. If not, I encourage you that after this session, go back and listen to part 1 of the 3 zones. And the 3 zones are this. It's our comfort zone, our growth zone, and the God zone. Now, this is like a model or schematic that came to me over the last year in work that I do in coaching people and just, looking for good ways that we can assess our lives. And I'm actually using it quite a bit in many different areas of my life, so I can see the areas where I'm in a flow. I have comfort in that area, which I'll reiterate what that is in a minute. Then those areas I'm stretching and I'm growing in, and then those areas where it's really beyond any human capacity of growth, it's totally and only the God zone. Now, let me note here that the whole thing is in the God zone, right? Because as believers, as Christians, as lovers of Jesus, the core of our life, the foundation of our life is Him and His power infused through us. And at the same time, though, we are human beings that He has given responsibility to take control of our lives, of our thoughts, and of our actions. And in partnership with Him and empowered by Him, we have to make some really good choices as well so that we can have progress in our life, right? So there's this co-creation with God. So the foundation is we're always with Him, inspired by Him, and we're aligning ourselves with Him. But in this particular 3 zones that I'm talking about, it's not talking about Him in that capacity as the God zone of how we live from that power on the inside, which is always there, and we should always be connecting. Please listen to and look at my message about the source, and He is always our source of power. Okay, but in this case, the God zone is the part of our life where it takes the miraculous for something to happen, right? It takes God's hand on us. Now, I'm going to talk more about that in part 3, about the God zone. And where I'm focusing today is the growth zone. So let's review first. What is the comfort zone? Because in our schematic, the inner core is our comfort zone. Then beyond that, we stretch to the growth zone. And then beyond that, the God zone. So the comfort zone is a zone we often refer to. Oh, that's my comfort zone. And, I want us to look at the comfort zone as in an area of our life or in a role that we have. It's the area that's already functioning. It's the area where there's momentum, there's skill, there's experience. It's comfortable because it's known, because we've built up to that point so far in our life. So we could take something like a leadership role. For me, for example, I look at my capacity in leading global impact. There's a certain portion of that that's it's in momentum already. I've worked up to this point. I've gone through previous growth zones that expanded me so that there is a level of leadership, of skill, and of ability it's functioning, it's moving, it's going almost automatically. Now, it does take maintenance. It continues to take, input, but not the same kind of input that it takes to be in the growth zone. So let's look at the comfort zone as like that in our life, because it's going to be the core of anything that we're doing. We're always going to have a part of us that's in the comfort zone in a particular area, right? So if it's in your relationships, your finances, even your relationship with God, there's parts that are working and moving, but we say, I want more. I want to go from this level and I want to expand myself into another level, which does not mean that we let go of the past. It means that we build on the past. So as we're looking at this, I don't want us to see it as, okay, I'm either in my comfort zone or I'm in my growth zone. No, the growth zone actually encompasses the comfort zone. So you're in your comfort zone, you're in that zone of momentum, and then you're expanding yourself beyond it. I was giving this example to our team as we had a team meeting recently, for example, with our media team. And that last year, doing Limitless, doing the live streams, doing the different things that have become now part of our everyday work, in the beginning, that was not a comfort zone. There wasn't the flow yet. The team had to learn how to do it. They had to, try and have error and have success, and sometimes something didn't work. And, it's through all of that then they get to this stage where, and I have to brag on my media team, they're amazing, right? And so they've got this flow, this momentum, knowing how to do things. But then is there new areas to grow beyond that? Absolutely. You see, that's why we can use this in any part of our life. We can use it in our businesses, our ministry, and our roles as parents. There's an area that we have momentum. Maybe that's a better term than even comfort zone. It's the place of momentum. It's the place where it's functioning and going. But we don't want to just camp out there and say, well, everything's okay, let's just stay here. No, we want to use that, and we want to go into new levels. We want to stretch and grow what's already working. And I was thinking of this scripture, and I believe this scripture has, of course, other meanings than how I'm going to apply it here. But in 2 Corinthians 3:18, it says, "We all, with unveiled face, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, just as by the Spirit of the Lord." So, of course, we would look at this scripture and we'd look at this passage that where there's freedom in our life, where the Spirit of the Lord is, we're going farther. We're going from glory to glory. And there's a continual transformation that's happening in our lives with Him and in our walk with Him and in our spirituality and in our spiritual intelligence, in our spiritual relationship, right? That the freedom and the capacity is just expanding. But I love the principle. I believe it's a God principle that He's always taking us from one level into the next, into the next, into the next, going from glory to glory to glory. There's a transformation process. It's part of like the DNA of what He's put into us as His kids, as His created beings, human beings that He has created with potential and with purpose. So there's this place of always saying, I want to go to the next level. I want to keep expanding. We can look at other scriptures where even the parable of the talents, where the different ones had a certain amount of talent given to them. And when the one that took it and buried it and did not multiply it, he was the one that was reprimanded because he didn't do anything, or he just buried what he had and left it in its current state. So in the parable of the talents, the concept is take what you've been given, the seed of talent, of ability, where you are already in your life, and multiply it more. We see that Old Testament and New Testament, that God's a God of multiplication, and we work with Him to go into that new level of multiplication. And that's exactly what the growth zone is, and the way that I'm sharing this right now. So maybe the best way to apply it to your life is think about an area of your life right now. Is it in your parenting? Is it in a relationship? Is it in your finances? Is it in your walk with the Lord and how you're understanding the scripture, or how you're relating to Him? Maybe your prayer life. It could be any and all parts you can apply this to. So just choose one and think about right now, like what's working, where you have skill, where you have ability. You find it somewhat easy, like let's say it's reading your word, and you already have a pattern, you already have a habit, and you read a chapter a day, let's say, and it's just kind of part of your daily routine. You've made it, you're in the flow there. But you might come to the place where you say, man, I want more. I want to grow in my knowledge of the word. So it doesn't mean that you throw out what you're already doing to grow. No, you continue doing what you've already know how to do, and the momentum that's there. And then you begin to stretch and say, okay, this is the goal I'm going to set. This is the reading plan that I want. This is where I'm going to study online. Maybe it's so far as I'm going to go to Bible school or ministry school or theology school. Like I really want to expand in this area. This is my growth zone from where I already have success and momentum. It could be in your leadership. It could be in your business. And I really believe that it's important for all of us to continue to to push in a positive way. We don't want to over push, but we also don't want to under push, right? There's this balance of pursuit in our life. We don't want to be stressed out. We don't want to be overtired, but we also don't want to be lethargic and lazy and just complacent as well. There's this amazing place, that we have to find continually. It's not that one or the other's the right way that we have to do it. It's that there's several principles that are operating here, and we in our walk with the Lord and in the walk with ourselves and with the goals in our life, we have to continually assess that. Is this a time of just recuperation? Is this a time of less work and less growth because there's something inside of me that needs to heal or needs to rest? That's fine. There's going to be seasons like that. And then there's other seasons like, wow, this is an area I need to push. Maybe I don't even want to. I don't feel like exercising every day, but I am going to because I want the goal of being healthier, of being fitter, and so you push yourself in that way because ultimately it's for our best. That's the growth zone. Assess your life. Am I growing in the areas where I know I'm meant to be expanding? What does God have for my life? What is the potential in my life? Let's make sure we have that positive push, that positive pressure to keep growing. It can be easy actually to stop after a while. You can reach a certain level of success and say, that's it, I'll just keep repeating this over and over again. But the best thing to do is always remain a student, always remain in that place of, I want more, not out of scarcity or lack, but really out of abundance. I want more. I want to achieve more. I want to impact more. I want to contribute more. I want to have more influence. Whatever it is that's right for your life. So in the growth zone is where we can encounter many different feelings. But in general, the growth zone is where we're stretching. We're stretching and we're learning beyond what we currently know, understand, and do. So there's a stretch. Now, part of that can be exhilarating and exciting because we're expanding our borders. We're expanding our skill. We're expanding our relationship. We're expanding. And that can be amazing at times. And the joy and the the encouragement that comes, the satisfaction can be very much relevant and a part of being in the growth zone. And on the flip side, a part of stretching can also be the pain. Have you ever heard the term growing pains? Right? When you're stretching beyond where you currently are, there's usually some pain that's involved. And this is a good pain because it's the pain of growth. It's not the pain of anything else, but simply saying, I'm growing in this area. The pain could be that the first time you tried something new that you're growing in, it didn't work and you failed. And possibly you failed miserably or just went boom, bloop, like a bomb and nothing happened, and, or you tried some new marketing technique and boom, nothing happened, and you're like, oh, I know we're supposed to go in this direction, but that didn't work. That can be painful, right? It could be reaching out to somebody that you're trying to build a relationship with and you just got a wall, but the point is to take all of these things, even the ones that are hitting at us and say, this is all part of my growth. What can I learn from this? This is a statement that I'm really meditating on just recently, is instead of interpreting life as what is happening to me, let's interpret life as and say to ourselves, how is this happening for me, right? How did that failure or that thing that just didn't quite work out, how is this for me instead of, against me? How can I interpret this in such a way that I can grow from it? There's so many principles that we can put into the growth zone. So let's remember that it can be awesome, it can be fun, it can be great, it can be new in the growth zone, but there can also be the pain of the growth, of the thing that didn't work out right, of the failure, but picking ourselves up and trying again. Maybe it's in the growth zone, it's just being consistent, continuing when you don't want to. I can really relate to that in physical fitness. There's times I just, I actually have a momentum in my physical fitness, but do I want to work out every day? Do I want to continue to, eat the healthy food over the carbohydrate that I'm craving? Yeah, so sometimes I let myself do that, but if I do that continually, I'm not going to maintain my fitness. And if I always go with what I feel like doing, which is usually I don't feel like working out, then I'm not going to continue to grow in that area, right? So that's the pain of the growth zone. And we've got to make some real powerful choices during that time. And when we're in the growth zone, the things that we need to let go of is procrastination. When we're growing, a lot of times procrastination tells us you can do it later, you're not ready, you don't have the ability yet. It always wants us to put it off. But a good, positive, powerful choice is to say, no, I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm going to do it not ready. Because, usually that's what it is. It's just kind of a lie that you're not ready. Or I can do it later. I'll just do it later. No, finally, I'm going to do it now. And I'm going to do it now, even though I don't feel like it. I'm going to do it now. See, letting go of procrastination can really help us in the growth zone. We have to let go of entitlement in the growth zone. I'm just do this. I should just have this already. No, if we don't have it, then we're going to create it in our life. Don't live from entitlement. Create from abundance in the place that you are progressing. For sure, in the growth zone, we have to find our limiting beliefs and transform them. So we've got to let go of limiting beliefs. A limiting belief is something that's way down inside of us, a thought that we have that keeps us only in that momentum zone, in that comfort zone. So it's not necessarily a bad thought, but it could just be a thought that's like a fence. And we've got to transform that thought into something that's more empowering. We have to let go of excuses in the growth zone. Let's not be a person of excuse. Why this didn't work, why it can't happen, why we don't have enough, excuse. No. It's, okay, this is the way it is, but we're going to find a way. That's how you let go of an excuse. An excuse is, well, it can't happen because, and that's it. Well, here's all the reasons why. No, here's the reasons why, but I'm going to find how to get it done. That's what we have to do in the growth zone. We have to let go of the fear of failing in the growth zone. Because guess what? We're going to fail. So let's not be afraid of it. Let's just embrace it and say, there's going to be things that aren't going to work, but that's okay. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to grow from it. Wow, that's such an amazing attitude to have. And to really work ourselves through in those times that there is a failure or there is a disappointment, and to keep going and to choose to learn to grow from it. Okay, we have to let go of shortcuts in the growth zone. And we have to let go of waiting for the perfect time. Okay, so those are lots of things that we get to let go of. We get to let go of, right? And what do we get to embrace in the growth zone? We get to embrace massive action. Things don't just happen because we hope for it, right? We don't progress in life because we hope it's going to happen, or we're just counting on God to just do it for us if it's His will. You see, there's things that God does. God puts desire in our heart, but He expects us to do our part, and He multiplies our part. Again, there's a balance in the relationship with Him. But the main thing I'm trying to say here is we don't just sit back and say, well, whatever will be, and if it's God's will, it'll happen. What's our part that we're meant to be doing? At the same time, being in faith and not taking over His part, okay? So massive action is a very relevant, real part of progress in life. We have to, or I don't even like to say have to, we get to embrace personal responsibility. See, instead of entitlement, it's responsibility. I'm responsible for this. I'm responsible for my own thoughts. I'm responsible for my own feelings. I'm responsible. And therefore, when we take responsibility, we actually are more empowered. We get to embrace continual belief transformation. This is a journey in our whole life. This is the renewing of the mind and being transformed. And I love this stuff. I teach on it a lot. How do we continually identify and transform our beliefs? We get to embrace powerful choices, powerful decisions. I was just listening to one of my mentors talk about that, how when we make a powerful decision, it releases energy to us. Sometimes we're just waiting in that in that zone of, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. And there are times that we just have to make the decision. There's other times we just need to wait until we know what's right. But other side, we just need to make the powerful decision, make the powerful choice, choose what needs to be done. You can do that. I just feel like that for somebody that's watching this right now, I just release that power to you to make the choice that you need to make. I believe you know what the right choice is. You've just been holding back on it for whatever reason, but make the choice. Make the choice. Cut out all the other stuff and make the choice that you know is the right choice and the God choice. I just release that to you right now. Okay, we get to embrace, this one's not so nice, but the acceptance of failure. You know, as I said earlier, we get to let go of the fear of failure, but we get to embrace the acceptance of it. Why? Not that we want to fail all the time, but we're just saying if it doesn't work, okay, if something doesn't work, I just get to grow from it. The old Thomas Edison adage, I just learned another way that it didn't work when he was trying to create the light bulb, right? But it's really powerful if we can truly assimilate that into our life. Okay, we get to embrace hard work. In the growth zone, there's hard work. There's the consistency, the time, the effort, and pure hard work that happens when we're growing and expanding and progressing. And another one, and the last one that I have for us here is we get to embrace doing it scared. Doing it scared. There are places of growth in our life. In the growth zone, we just got to do it scared. Even though we're hesitant, we don't know, we have question marks, we're afraid. Just do it. Just do it scared. Just jump and start it. Start the process. Okay, so that's the growth zone. And those are some elements for all of us to look at our life. Where do I already have momentum? And where is it already working? I have a level of success and I want to expand that. I'm not leaving my comfort zone to go into a growth zone. No, I'm still have this core of the comfort zone in my life, but I'm expanding my borders and I'm growing so that this soon becomes my comfort zone. That becomes my it's in a sense our comfort zone then expands because it's where we already have skill, experience, and momentum. Okay. I hope that blesses you and that you can be looking at your life and specifically asking the Lord for this time period, this season, this year, where's one or two areas that you want me to focus on to grow myself? That's a great question to always be interacting with the Lord on. And then once you have that, commit to it and do it and grow in that area. And as we grow in one area, then we can actually take those skills and put them into other areas. I do encourage you, don't try to grow in every single area of your life. Choose one or two that you put concentrated focus in and say, I'm gonna really learn in this area. But as you learn there, I guarantee it's like there's spillover in the other parts of your life. So I pray that blesses you. And in the next session, we're going to talk about the God zone and what does that mean. Okay, God bless you.